Well, hello folks, welcome to episode 1 of our 3rd season with RFC Liege. I am the Custard Prophet, and welcome along to this save. This is how it finished last season. We were really happy actually in the end with the our finishing position of 6th out of the eight teams in this division, because we were by far favourites to go down, and Westerlo, who ended up going down, were supposed to do all right in the in the division. In fact, the team that was supposed to come second bottom were the ultimate team who won, but we were way below everyone else. So moving on to this season, as you can see, the division looks a little bit different. Let's have a look at the odds. I think the odds are bizarre. So Union, who finished second bottom last time, are, I've 91 to 1 on to go up. I don't understand why, because they're not like brilliant. They've transfers they've made. Look at this. They've brought in some players, but not a ridiculous number of players, and looking at them, they're not brilliant. This guy looks all right. The Pioneer, Theo Pioneer, doesn't look great. You can tell by the prices that people are at. Okay, that one maybe is a little bit better, but not clear why all of a sudden they are the overwhelming favourites to go up, considering they were second bottom. So I was hoping to be able to finish again above them next season. What is quite interesting, we are 50 to 1, and we are on equal odds as Sarang FC to go down. So that's nice. We're no longer bottom, and this team that got relegated are more likely to struggle, as likely to struggle as us. And Liers, Kemp and Zonen are supposed to do all right, even though they've just got promoted. So makes no sense at all. So we have made some transfers, and obviously I feel this season could be really tough because of the financial issues. We're still £2.5 million in debt, and there's no prize funds for doing anything in this league, cup or league or whatever. You just don't get anything, so it makes it quite hard to pick up money, and makes it quite hard to stop our kind of rot in terms of the amount of money that's being hemorrhaged every single week. But let's have a look at the transfer business we were able to do. It was massively curtailed with the amount of money that I was able to play with, but I was able to do some business. So let's have a look at what that was. First of all, starting out with the released players. Quite a list of released players. Wouter Haas, our right back, he's gone. Martin Suarez, someone I might have held on to. Certainly played a lot of games last season, but he didn't want to stay, so he's gone. Gerstmans, who ended up in the reserves, even though he couldn't play there, just wanted to get rid of him, get him out of my sight. He's got Mouscron, another one who we could have held on to, and maybe should have held on to, our left or right sided midfielder. Mongo, who started off who did play a few games for us, but in the amateur leagues up top, he was not up to it. And then you can see Ronval, Bustin, Renquin and Bruggemont, all players who didn't quite make the cut. They did apparently have reasonable potential, but I just couldn't get them to work. So that's what's happened. Let's have a look at players who've come in though, or actually there's a couple more who've gone out. You can see a fairly big one there. Taylor Lavambo has gone to Ingolstadt, which I think is Austria, isn't it? It's a shame. It's a big shame. This is because he was a good player for us, and I would have liked to keep hold of him, but he wanted to leave. He made it very clear he wanted to go to this club. And do I keep him and risk destroying the morale, or do I let him go for a reasonable price? Now, he did have a sell on of a minimum fee release clause, or a release clause, or whatever the bloody term is, which was 350k, and this is as close to that as I could get with the teams that were interested in. So I decided, screw it, we'll get rid of him and we'll bring someone else in. And this is kind of what we're going to have to do anyway. We're going to have to sell players, buy them in cheap and sell them in for more. Other player, this youngster who looks, I think he's coming on very, very nicely. Stephen Gaultier has gone out to Mew, who are in the lower leagues in Belgium. So that's good. So let's have a look at the players who've come in. Certainly one really good signing, I think, potentially. We needed cover at the back because the defence was awful all last season. So from Club Brugge NXT, we brought in Simon Voigt, who I think you'll agree looks a decent player. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 22-year-old Belgian. Very, very good mental stats. Look at the determination and the jumping reach, and it all looks very good. And he's not only big and power. Well, he's not only sort of big, but he's also got a bit of pace. The real worry here, I mean, he's massive, 194 centimetres. He's like a door frame. The issue I have is this. Strength of 6, being like that, must be built like a beanpole, but he's also got really good passing ability and a reasonable vision as well, so we might well be playing him as a ball playing defender. To go alongside him, Twan van der Zoo from Feyenoord. I think this lad looks a really good loan signing as well. We're paying £1,000 a week, so it's a little bit on the expensive side, but oh my, actually not really compared to. I mean, he's about half. I think the most expensive player we've got is 1,900 a week, so it's not that expensive for what we've got. But he's again a bit of pace. He's a little bit stronger than our matey that we bought in. He's 19, so that strength will improve, but he has the attributes that you'd want technically to be a very good defender. So I'm happy with that. I feel we might have a good partnership there. They've got a little bit of like gelling to do, as you'll see from our first result in the cup, but I think there's enough. I've seen enough there to think that they could really work well together. Obviously on the wings, a lot of players have left and we've not really replaced them, but we did bring in a Cuban cigar, who is our replacement for Lavambo, but he can play on the right side as well. He's all right, is what I can say here. He's not a bad player, crossing, dribbling, all good. He's fast. Decent first touch. Passing's a bit of a worry. You kind of like your wingers to be able to pass the ball, but we can't have everything. So he's reasonable and looks sort of little short guy. So compared to the monster that we bought in, he's kind of the opposite. But play on both sides, and he will provide us with a bit of cover. He had a good first game in the Belgian Cup, I have to say. He got himself into some really, really good positions, but finishing. Definitely of 4. Definitely of 4. Couple of other signings. So we wanted a little bit more, because obviously one person I haven't talked about is the lad we had on loan last season. His name's gone. That's terrible. Omic from Juve, who, if you remember the story, he went to Antwerp, and I was going to have a look to see if we could sign him from Antwerp. So I had a look, and they said, no, you're going to have to offer us something pretty spectacular. I mean, our finances, basically what I can offer them is, a bag of donuts, and we can just about stretch that. That wasn't enough for them. So I left it at that, and anyway, went back sort of a little bit later when I was sort of struggling to... with the wage budget we have, to bring in somebody to sort of fit within that wage budget, and he turns out they had already played the first game. He played and scored, so he's kind of a level above. But what player we did bring in, bought a couple of players in. One who is purely a body, a squad-based body, who can finish. I thought acceleration and finishing, that seems pretty good. Composure's all right for this level. It's nothing terrible there, and I think he's all right. I think he's better than 1.5 star. So I was happy to have him in. He's 18-year-old from Dijon. But the player that we bought in to sit alongside Lallemont is Godwin Bentil, from a lot on loan from Marseille. Looks a decent prospect. 21-year-old Ghanaian, dribbling, finishing, first touch, all very good. Plays very well as a poacher. 3.5 star as a poacher. Physically, decent. Stamina could be a bit better, but maybe you don't need that quite so much as a poacher because you're not running around so much. But and his technical attributes maybe could do with increasing. But for a 21-year-old, I will take that all day long. And I think he's already got his first goal, and an 8.1 pretty much summed up his performance. He looked quite good. He had to go off towards the end, but he did look quite good. So let's have a look how pre-season and that first game went. So pre-season, we didn't play that many games. We had a bunch of them cancelled at the last minute, but we lost one, drew one, and won one. We did score in all those games, so we did get a clean sheet. And this is a Dutch side, so that's always kind of nice to do. I think this is a reasonable. I don't know who this is. I think they're another Dutch side. Maybe should have done a bit better there. But first game of the season, we played against Mandel United in the Cup. Disappointment in that we lost. Lallemont was on the bench because he was just coming back from injury. Our goalkeeper, Debati, was on the bench because he was just coming back from injury. But as you can see, we scored a couple of goals. Our forward players, we create a lot of chances. It was quite nice, the amount of chances we created. It was just the finishing that wasn't there. And the amount of chances that they had were very, very, very few. You can see they had 3 shots in the whole game. They scored 2 of them. And both of those goals were mistakes from the 2 centre-backs. We paired our 2 new centre-backs together. They'd never even seen each other. I mean, the Dutch guy has literally only just come in. So, you know, it's probably to be expected. So we're not going to do that again. I was hoping to give them a bit of experience. We're coming up here against Excelsior Mouscron, who've come down. They are predicted to do well, as you would expect. It's going to be a tough one. Let's get into it. Let me know what you think of the signings. I'm sitting on the fence. I think the 2 centre backs look really good. I think the forward looks good, but I wanted another right back. I wanted a little bit more depth on the wings. I couldn't get those things. It's frustrating. So what that has meant is that we've had to bring in a few of the youngsters into the squad. You can see the likes of Bodin, Adam Nicholas are getting some game time. The reason Bentil's not playing is because he's knackered for it. He got himself injured in the last game, and we are taking off the Cuban lad. He'd not played in years, so he's come in. He's just sitting on the bench. He can come back out, and we're playing Garcia Cavea on instead. Halil Koze continues at top, and we've got a few options. I think what we'll do is we'll put Lucas on our youngster on the bench and see if he gets a chance to come on. Because if it's like 3-0 down, it doesn't really matter, does it? Could well be. We could get smashed here. Yeah, the defensive errors that the 2 centre backs made, they were pretty straightforward errors. One ball straight through us, and they just let him through. You know, one of them should have their head to that, particularly considering the height of the Loney, but no, not to be. And the other one was a cross, another missed header. So it's a couple of issues around heading, but let's see how we do. Squad, I think looks all right. I think it doesn't have the depth that we had last season. But I think potentially we are better at the back, even with Hias not here. So struggling to be as defensively secure. I mean, we were last season. So let's see what these players do. I didn't actually go through the team sheet, so we'll do that. Let's just do that quickly. So team we're going with, we've got Lalemant with Koze up top, Mahou on the right, Carveya on the left, Rodez and Asana in the middle. A very, very typical looking team that part is. Then at the back we've got Castillo. Badunga is next to Vert, who will play alongside Kastijn on the right side with Dabati in goal. So as you can see, of the new signings, Bentil, Jimenez, Dazou are all on the bench, and the only player coming in here is Vert. And we do have a couple of youngsters on the bench as well. So let's see how we do. I think this is going to be challenging, but it'll be nice to see if we're capable of causing them some difficulties. Kastijn gets the ball back. Mahou into Kastijn. And it's lovely. The man who's just come in, Garcia Garfeya, he takes a 1-0 lead over Mouscron, and I did not expect that, but we will take it. Hopefully, the reason I've gone with Badunga at the back and Vert is just for the experience that Badunga has. Hopefully, if you play him alongside one of them, maybe we'll get a bit more out of them, and we can kind of bring the other one in as and when. And then that will improve the defence. Whether that makes sense or not, I don't know. Lovely ball in. It's Halil Koze. It's 2-0. And who would have thought this would be the start you lot would see? Particularly after losing in the cup in the last game about 36 hours ago. But a great start from the Liege boys. Two decent chances, and scored both of them. We've not seen a highlight from the Mouscron boys, but maybe this is it. But no, Dabati has it. He did well there. He plays a lovely ball, and that's a cracking ball into Lalemant. Oh wow, that is not the Lalemant we know and love. That was rushed and ponderous. A very, 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 very good first half. XG looks excellent. We've actually picked up in terms of opportunities as well. We're going to... no, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to have a team talk. Very happy with that. We're going to go right back out and just do more of the same. We'll praise them. Let's get them all happy and Larry-like. Dastilio into Garcia Gavalio. Koze, Asania, Dastilio, ball in. It's in. It's offside. Mahou, what are you doing, man? Oh, shame. What a great first sort of 50 minutes or so. We've looked awesome. But it's a chance here. Siriania. And even though we had people on the post, they did not manage to keep it out. So it's 2-1. Let's have a look at that. It looked like someone should have got a head to it. No. That is all we've seen. So we're at 66 minutes. I'm tempted to bring on Bentil for Lalemant, which is amazing. I'm saying that, but that is what I'm saying. Asania. I've got to put Rodez back there and bring on Bodin. So there's maybe a few extra legs in the midfield, and we'll do that as well. I think Mahou's looking a bit knackered. We have someone who can come on there. So you can see the Cuban dragon celebrates with a cigar every single time. Very boring end to this. Doesn't bother me as long as we get to the end of the match, and a 2-1 win away from home, away at Excelsior Mouscron. Brilliant play from Halil Koze. Great to see Carveya getting on the score sheet, but he played particularly well also. And who'd have thought Kastijn getting a 7.1? Well, that's never happened before. And Vert, 7.1. So the new centre-back does well. Wow. Well, let me know what you thought of that. I did not see that coming, particularly against newly relegated Mouscron. Yes, it was very important. And we are top of the league. Wow. Look at that. That's such a good... Look at that logo. That is awesome. I love that. Oh, wow. That's getting excited about that. Right then, folks. Well, we were going to move on a little bit, and we will come back in a little bit. I mean, obviously there's not a vast amount of games in this season, but I think we might come back perhaps for maybe the game against Danes, and then you guys can see kind of how we've started, and then we'll have a bigger break. Probably come back for maybe Union. I do want to play Serang at some point, so we'll play them probably there or something like that. Who knows? Not me. Anyway, a great start to the season. Your job, predict where we're going to finish this year. There's only 8 places, so you know it's a 1 in 8 chance. I think that's put me in a much better mood. I thought we played brilliantly away against a very good side. So fingers crossed, we've got a chance of maybe pushing on a little bit from last year. Who knows? Maybe not. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new, and I will see you next time as we are trying to push forward, and should be coming back against Danes, so I'll let you know how we've got on in the games in between. See you then. Goodbye.